My name's Michael Fortune. I design and make furniture for homes all over the place, all over North America and beyond. I live with my wife Janice on our property just outside of Peterborough, Ontario, with the perfect dog, Bentley. Yeah. As far as my work, there's a certain fluidity to it. It's got a strong form. I will add a level of fussiness over top. The shape you might recognize is a chair across the room. As you walk closer to the chair, you'll get to see the handwork, the hand shaping, and so on. Like in Chairs for the Governor General on the cover of this book, the leaves were cut from woods from around the world. And they're all appear as though they're descending. And there's one brilliantly red maple leaf, of course, that's ascending. The forms of the inlay almost demand that you look closely. How the hell was that done? There's another level of engagement. And then the final interaction is when you sit down. I've had people say, well, I don't think I've ever sat in a chair that is as comfortable. And so it's a multifaceted experience is what it comes down to. People I'm working with are counting on my designability and also my ability to work with wood in an economical way, but also in a manner that accommodates the nature of the material. So I'm very, very aware of everything that I design has to accommodate a wood movement, which is a lot more dramatic than a lot of people recognize. In past years, way past years, it was difficult to get logs sawn the way I wanted them sawn. You know, I could find a sawmill, but they're more concerned about how many board feet are you going to get out of this. But they were not taking the care to place the log to maximize the beauty of the log. There's a phone call from the PUC, Public Utilities Commission, and they had to level a site that had some magnificent trees in it. In this grove of trees, there was a remnants of a foundation. And as soon as you see that, then, you know, over the years, people have put, you know, for sale signs or made tree forts and so on. They tried to find a sawmill to cut the trees down and then mill them. And there wasn't a conventional sawmill that was willing to even think about doing it because of the embedded hardware. One of the engineers was kind of a part-time woodworker. He said, you know, I've been reading about this guy outside of Peterborough. He's a furniture maker. Maybe he can do it. And they were truly magnificent trees. 2 gorgeous walnuts, some ash, and a couple of other species. And I thought, oh, gee, it would be a shame to see this buried or cut into the firewood. And then I made the connection with having seen an ad for a sawmill. Made a phone call and went out to see Woodland Mill in Port Perry. It was a very small business at that point. You know, 11 years ago, we're looking at it, and my intern at the time was familiar with a bandsaw mill with hydraulic flippers and the whole 9 yards. She's looking at this thing going, oh, I don't know. Until they rolled the log up and started slicing that log into perfect boards. And I said, okay, that's exactly what I need. This is going to solve the problem to mill that wood with the embedded hardware in it. The tree was absolutely gorgeous. So that was important for that 27 foot long boardroom table for the Public Utilities Commission. but trying to get a log that long is just not going to happen. So the design I came up with was actually a 4-way book match that I was able to do with a sawmill and do it myself. And yes, we did encounter hardware, and I've saved it. I got a bucket. Having access to this means that, all the shapes that I want to create that are fluid shapes, I don't have to fight with anyone to get, the wood cut the way I want it and the species that I want. I can roll the logs up on the mill. I can center the log according to the center line of the tree. So I'm not, when mills would roll it up onto their carriage, what they're actually cutting is all the grains at an angle, which if it's centered, it's a much more stable shape you get. And in my case, it also gives me the fluidity to steam bend those shapes, with really very little difficulty is what it comes down to. And not only that, I really enjoy doing it to the point where my idea of rest and recreation is actually to use my sawmill on the weekends when Janice allows me to. Yeah. I became interested in furniture and furniture design and making as a career choice by complete accident. I started off in art school in a graphic arts program, and my instructor gave me a box, a little cardboard box to deliver to another campus. So I got in the car, boxes in the passenger seat, off I went. I did get to the building, but I forgot whether I was to go in the left or the right. So I just pulled into the first driveway, which meant I was in the wrong place. I walked up to the first available door, opened the door, and right inside was this brand new facility that had been started by the provincial government. It was a commercial furniture design program headed by an American brought up from New York. And I said, oh, wow. I mean, it was very impressive. I said, what do you do here? And he said, well, come on in and I'll give you a tour. So I stepped in, and 2 hours later, I was indoctrinated into the wonders of furniture design as a career choice. And I've essentially been doing it ever since. A bit of an odd project, and I'm just currently working on it. Janice, my wife, her mother passed away recently. She was the most outgoing, friendly, positive person I think I've ever encountered. So when it came time to make an urn, this was my response to Mrs. Harvey here. So that's a picture of Mrs. Harvey. And her eyes are sparkling. I told her what I was doing, and she was absolutely thrilled. And the best part is, she said, oh, that's wonderful. Our plot is on a hill, so we've got this beautiful view. She was an absolute delight as a mother-in-law. So, it was an honor to be able to put her away and make something for her. If you walk into Rideau Hall, on either side of the main entrance are two huge semicircular demi-lune tables that I've done. Those ones are in wavy birch, which you try and find wavy birch. It's very difficult, but I did find some and I cut it myself. And because it's for Rideau Hall, I knew where the tree came from, and I know where the stone top came from a stone quarry on Manitoulin Island. So this is Cherry. This chair here started as a commission from a client in 1979. They said, you should try and develop a design for us that you can do in variation. And so that's what got me started on designing this chair. So in total, I'm up into the hundreds of these over the years, but every time I do a set, they're different. I mean, I don't think I could bring myself to just do the same thing over and over. So there's always details in the back, the arms are different, legs, the cross sections are all different. And in some cases I've designed the upholstery and had it woven. So I can get to play with the idea in variation. Now the idea itself often comes from observation, and it's never other people's work. It's often from my environment. Right outside the door of my studio is a great big boulder, and we planted around the perimeter of the boulder daylilies. And those daylily stalks come up and do this beautiful arc. So I'm having my morning cup of coffee, and I'm looking at this scene, and I'm thinking, I've got a commission for a table. What would happen if I visually cut those daylilies off to create a plane? I walked over, took my pocket knife, and I cut one of the daylily stalks, and the shape of that stalk was astoundingly beautiful. And so I kept that here somewhere. Maybe that evening or later, started to draw sketches, marks on paper that tried to capture the fluidity and the movement of those lines, and that morphed into the one that's perhaps most well known as the dining table for our former Governor General, Adrian Clarkson. So that's where the idea came from. I received the Bronfman Award in 1993. And I was the first woodworker, furniture maker to receive the award. It had been given to different painters and sculptors and so on. So that was an incredible, incredible honor, because it was also juried by your peers, in addition to the administration of Canada Council. So that was wonderful, and that's opened so many doors for not only me, but for other people. I do write letters of recommendation for people applying for grants or scholarships and so on. And so that carries some, academic weight. We do have interns that come in from around the world. They'll work alongside me and the people working for me 2.5 days a week, and then 2.5 days a week they're working on their own work. And at the end of each workday, I'll sit down with them and discuss, what's happening, what their challenges might be, how they might get around it, or how they might expand what they're currently pursuing. What I hope they take away from the experience really is my enthusiasm and the potential for going in a variety of different directions, all under the umbrella of furniture design and construction. And I get to look at what they're doing now, and I'm impressed. So it's nice to be able to support and encourage those people. I really enjoy it. This goes back a couple of years. There was another furniture maker, a very good one from Saskatchewan, dropped in. And he walked into the studio here, and he looks around and goes, "What are you going to do with all this stuff when you're dead?" And it never occurred to me until he said that I will not be doing this forever. I guess what I'm getting around to saying is I can't really see me ever retiring, because I am having such a fabulous time. I've been doing this for so long that every once in a while a piece goes on the secondary art market, and some of my clients are buying that work, which is kind of fun, Although I do have a desire, and my desire is to walk into an antique-y kind of junk store and see one of my pieces. The way you go into stores and you look at all this stuff and you think, well, where did it come from? And I want to walk in and know that's exactly where that came from.
Now, would you buy it back is the question.
Yes, I believe I would. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what I'd do with it, but yeah, it might be kind of fun. So it just, the way I've got this whole thing set up just fits nicely in my design process, and then I get to design what I'd like to make, and then the joy is figuring out how to actually do it. And so this is my 51st year. And I was excited when I started this, and I'm just excited 51 years later, because every day is different, is what it amounts to.